के दिखा रहे फलक से हम यही गा रहे कराने वाला करा रहा है करनहार हम किए जा रहे ओ झलक तुम्हारी ओ प्यारे भगवन।
आनंद के प्रदाता हे स्नेह शक्ति दाता अव्यक्त बाप दादा सादर पधारिए मंजुल मधुर निमंत्रण अंतःकरण से कण कण प्रभु आपको बुलाता सादर पधारिए सादर पधारिए। बिछड़े हैं कल्प भर के प्यासे मिलन के कब से बच्चे बुला रहे हैं मिल जाओ आज हमसे दृष्टि से सृष्टि रच दो मुरली से रंग भर दो वरदानों के हे दाता सागर पधारिए सागर पधारिए। कोमल सी भावनाएं निर्मल हृदय का कहना संगम युग में बाबा संग आपके ही रहना धरती भी नग में गाती अंबर भी गुनगुनाता संसार सारा गाता सादर पधारिए सादर पधारिए। तेरे प्यार को संजोए नैनों को है भिगोए यादों के मोतियों को सांसों में है पिरोए वो सद्गुणों के सागर भरने हर एक गागर हर ही तुम्हें बुलाता सागर पधारिए सागर पधारिए। आनंद के प्रदाता हे स्नेह शक्ति दाता अव्यक्त बाप दादा सागर पधारिए सागर पधारिए सागर पधारिए।
Hello. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Jayanti Ben.
Om
Welcome.
Shanti Reva Ben. Om Shanti
Shanti Jayanti Ben. Welcome, welcome.
Om Shanti.
Ji.
Om Shanti Jayanti Ben.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. Om
Lovely
Shanti.
to hear
Om
all of
Shanti.
you. Om
Wah,
Shanti.
Are wah.
Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti. Are.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti Didi.
ओम शांति बारिक भाई आप सब अपने वीडियो को प्लीज
जी
स्टॉप करें, हाँ म्यूट करने।
वीडियो ऑडियो दोनों स्टॉप कर देते हैं।
हाँ जी प्लीज, थैंक यू। सभी अपने वीडियो और ऑडियो को स्टॉप करें। Jayantiben, Om Shanti. Welcome to this family. So we have planned for Legos family, but the other Baba's children are also there in the gathering. So lots of good wishes and wonderful flowers from Legos Center. Meenal Ben, फूलों से स्वागत करना। मीनल बेन फूल दिखाना। हाँ जी, these are the special flowers, lockdown maybe. These are the flowers from the garden of Baba's home and specially made for you, Jayantiben.
Ji, thank you. किस भाषा में
Yes.
बोलना है?
English would be better because the other Baba's children are also joined with us.
Okay, good. Ji, shall I begin?
Thank you, Ji. Yes, please.
A big, big Om Shanti from the heart to everyone. And I'm here in Shantivan. It's a good place to be in for lockdown because there's a big campus and it doesn't feel like lockdown. Yes, many times I have the thought of going up the mountain, but that is lockdown. We can't go up the mountain at this point. But certainly in terms of everything else, the campus is so big to go from one cottage to another cottage to another cottage to Diamond House here and there, it's fine. And also the numbers are severely restricted in a sense of any gathering mustn't be more than 20. And so in Dadiji's meeting hall, where we have morning class every day, Dadi Ratan Moini has been reading Murli every single day, so that's beautiful. Just imagine she's now 94, I think, 94, 95, but she's still coming to read Murli every single day. That's quite incredible. And so we only have 20 people in the whole of Dadiji meeting hall. So you can imagine that we're just using about half of it. And even then with social distance, it's still just about 20. So yes, India is experiencing severe lockdown in some places, but here in Rajasthan, the epidemic hasn't been huge. It can still peak, of course. And certainly in Siroi district, up until today, there's no news of a single case. So that's why I say that it's Baba's house anyway, but it's a very safe place to be in lockdown. Let's see what happens further in terms of now that some more people are coming back to their summer cottages from different places. So we just have to wait and see. But the outside drama continues, And Baba's children take the opportunity for tapasya. And we've been having day and night tapasya going on in Madhuban, in Shantivan, but also the other campuses. But also there's been lots of webinars and seminars and webcasts and classes and public events, so online. So the service continues, service of people out there, people who are contacts, our friends, but also sustenance of the BK family. And I'm hearing how many people are joining up for meditation courses online now. So Sangam Yoga is a very special time. And I just want us to reflect a little bit further on the whole subject of Sangam Yoga. Because of course, Sunday's Murli, which you all heard or read, was very much about the speciality of the confluence age and Baba's instruction to us to see how much I have accumulated. And when I see that, then I can know how close I am to being complete and full, how close I am to my own Satopradhan stage. And it's very interesting because this Murli on Sunday had many questions for us to check and see. I'm not sure how many of you made a list of all those questions that Baba was asking. What about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? But if you didn't, it's worth going back and reading it again and seeing whether you're able to tick all the points that Baba's mentioned in terms of your audit for yourself. But I'd like to take up a few of the points that Baba mentioned. Accumulation. Firstly, the accumulation of elevated karma. And so through the whole day, thoughts, words, actions, all of this is karma. How much am I accumulating? And of course, Baba's comment further on was that when somebody from the doctors group asked, what is the most elevated form of service? Baba connected it with this, saying that when your thoughts, words, and actions are all aligned, that is the way in which you can do the most elevated form of service. And it's a fact, isn't it? My mind may have very elevated, pure thoughts, but then when it comes to words, I lose my patience and I become a bit abrupt, or I speak in a bit of a harsh tone. So my thoughts are up here, but where are my words? And then my actions, how am I going to align all three together? But pure thoughts, sweet words, actions that are ones of giving, of donation, of time, of energy, of money, of talents, of skills, am I able to just simply give without any concern of a return for it here and now? Of course, Baba is going to multiply and give me the return, because Sangam Yug is the time of the Bhola Bhandari. For each one that I give, Baba is giving me 1,000 in return. This is why within return. But Copper Age, I think we get a lot. Iron Age, well, look at all of you in your last birth in the Iron Age. And even then, you're comfortable. Maybe there's not riches, but there's comfort and your needs are being met. Everything that you need is available for you. I've seen that for 99% of Baba's children. And even in terms of, say, the virus, I would say that 99% of the family worldwide are okay. A few relatives who are not okay, but the Brahmins themselves, they're okay. And even the few relatives that I hear about, it falls in within the 1%. It's not more than that. And so Baba's protection, how did we earn that? Whatever it is we did last Kalpa, that's accumulated, but also whatever it is I'm doing at the present time, holding Baba's hand firmly, keeping the canopy of protection above my head, and Baba's taking good care of all of us. And yes, I know that many are thinking, but Daddy's gone. Daddy's versions are with us. Daddy's classes are with us. Daddy's jewels are with us. But also, I'm sure many of you feel Daddy coming to you in your dreams. Many of you feel that Daddy's guiding you, Daddy's supporting you, Daddy's touching souls and inspiring them for change. And so all of that is true. Daddy is doing a lot. And yes, at the moment, still operating from the subtle region. Baba told us in one of the Borg messages that she said, Baba, keep calling me to the subtle region. And I feel that that is what Baba's doing. But I see how Daddy's working on that subtle level and giving us all so much. So accumulation. How much good karma am I doing through my thoughts, my words, my actions? Is it enough to accumulate for next kalpa also, the whole kalpa, not just the golden and silver age, but the whole kalpa? I think that's the possibility that Baba's offering us now. Knowledge, the treasure of knowledge. Really, truly, if there's any question that comes into your mind about other people, about the Brahmin family, about the situation in the world, is there any question that comes that Baba has not given us an answer for? Nothing. Baba gave us everything, whether through the Sakar Murlis for 33 years, and whether through the Avyakt Murlis for almost 50 years. I was also remembering another interesting thing. You know, at the end of 2017, that season, Baba came in October, and then it didn't come in November. And we'd got used to that time to time. Daddy's health was such that Baba didn't come. And then Baba came December the 5th, and again 31st December. And in the Murli of December the 5th, there were many questions that arose from that Murli. Because Baba said, this is a time for completion. And people were saying, does it mean the end of the Kalpa? Does it mean that in 2018 we all go home? And my response at that time was, no, I think it means that this is really the time that we have to achieve our complete stage so that we're able to deal with whatever the future holds. We might not be able to make such intense effort in the future. But today, I understand, Baba was actually telling us it was the completion of the cycle of Avyakt Murlis. Then, of course, yes, 31st December, Baba came, and basically it was, again, Baba being asked what you see for the coming year, and Baba spoke about glorification of God in the future. But after that, we have not had an Avyakt message. We have not had an Avyakt Murli. And so completion, Baba used that word, and completion meant at that time completion of God's incarnation in the way we were used to, whether through Sakar Brahma Baba or whether through Bap Dada in Dadi Gulzar. But the cycle of Sangam Yug had come to an end. But why I mention that today is because the Sakar Murlis were the 18 chapters of the Gita. Baba told us this on the 21st of January 1969. I've given you all the knowledge from the ocean of knowledge. You have the 18 chapters. But we still had many questions about how to. And the Avyakt Murlis have been the mechanism of how to have yoga, how to do subtle service, how to, in every single situation, many different things. And so all of these things now. We have all the information we need, all the gyan that Baba had, the ocean had, and all the experiences that we saw demonstrated through Brahma Baba. We have all of those. We have the examples of how Didi Manmohini, Dadi Prakashmani, Dadi Janki did everything that Baba asked them to do and showed it to us in human form. But Brahma Baba always, there was this little addition, well, but he's God's chariot, so Shiv Baba is helping him, which is fine. But there was always that excuse, well, I can't be the same because Brahma Baba is one and only, of course. But 3 human beings have demonstrated to us, and many of you know all 3, some of you know 2, some of you know 1. But everybody has seen one of the daddies, I think. And you've seen them demonstrate all the things that you hear about in becoming Bap Saman, like the father. And so, information. Baba spoke about the treasure of knowledge. Sakar Murlis, Avyakt Murlis, all the messages we received through the years, and then the example of the 3 daddies. And of course, there's more daddies. There's Dadi Gulzar, there's Dadi Ratan Moini, but all the daddies. We can learn a lot from all of them. So the treasure of knowledge that we have is vast. Nobody can ask you a question about spirituality and how spirituality relates to the world that you don't have an answer for. You have an answer for all of this. The next treasure, the treasure of the powers. Well, if sometimes I feel I don't have that inner power, let me ask myself the question, what is blocking me? Because the Almighty Authority is right in front of me. And today Baba said, love, 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 love the one. You'll be hearing that Murli soon. Love the one who is the supreme. Love the one who gives you a big inheritance. So I'm connected with the Almighty Authority. So how come I'm not receiving that power? And so let me check myself and see what is the block. If today I feel, well, I don't have so much willpower, determination, or I don't have the ability to adjust in a way that I need to. I don't have the power of tolerance to the extent that is needed in the world today. I don't have such clarity in understanding clearly a situation to be able to have that discernment and then to be able to come to a decision that can be long lasting in its impact. Well, if there's a block, let me try and find what that block is. If I sit with Baba in front of me in total humility, ready to accept Baba's signals, Baba will tell me and I will know. And so all the powers are now available for Brahmins. Just simply take and take and take and take. And some things being offered free. Sometimes people are a little bit suspicious. How come this is free? There must be a catch to it. And sometimes when something's been offered free, people say, yes, sure, let me help myself. Let me fill one bag, let me fill another bag, and carry those bags home. And here Baba is saying, you don't even have to go anywhere. Just sit comfortably and just connect and let all the powers reach you and fill you. And this is the way in which you can truly, truly be full. And so all the powers are there waiting for us to receive them from Baba. Baba's giving, giving, giving. I need to connect, no blockages, and all of it will flow to me and I'll fill myself. And then the other thing, Baba's saying, all the virtues are here for you to fill. Am I able to fill myself with every single virtue under the sun? If I'm to be a deity, I can't have hole. I can't have a gap. Yes, there might be one particular quality which is my particular speciality, but I need to have all the others also. Can you imagine Santoshi Devi saying, "Oh yes, I am santusht, I am content." The goddess of contentment says, "I am content, but I lack a little bit of patience." You can't imagine that, can you? All the other qualities are there, of course, but the main one that shines is contentment. With all the other things too. Shitla Devi, the goddess of coolness. Can the goddess of coolness say, "Well, everything is fine, but I really feel that I can't manage in certain situations. I can't tolerate things"? She would never say that. Of course she can tolerate. Of course she has all the virtues. So for me, at this moment, these are the qualities that I will take with myself to Satyug and further through the whole cycle. I remember Wadi, some of you know her. Maybe if you don't, you must invite her soon. But anyway, so Wadi was with Dadi in the days of Tennyson Road. And so she took yarn in London, but it was Madhuban that made her a Pakka Brahmin. And so she spent about 6 months in India at that point. She loved India. And she became very close to Dadi. And she would often take Dadi on a walk in Oxford, just the two of them, and we'd see them chatting. Dadi didn't speak much English. Wadi spoke zero Hindi, but they understood each other. The bond of love was that strong. And so she said to Dadi, "Dadi, I see that you're so generous. You're always giving, giving, giving. Is this a quality that you've always had, or is it something that developed only when you came to Baba?" And Wadi continued, "But I think that from the stories I hear, you've always had a big heart and always been generous. And so did Baba pick you and make you belong to him because of that quality of generosity and a big heart?" And Dadi smiled and said, "Baba gave me this quality last cycle. And this is why till the end of the Kalpa, I kept this cycle, this particular virtue." And she would share sometimes a story of her childhood and how, because her father was a jeweler, there was always access to beautiful jewelry. And normally girls love jewelry. I don't know about boys, but I know that girls love jewelry anyway. Now I see boys also wearing diamond studs and things like this and big rings. So maybe now it's boys and girls. But at that time it was girls basically. And her father would bring home things and she would look at them and the father would say, "Would you like something?" And she would take something. But she never ever wore any jewelry. What she did, having taken from her father, because the father was giving it to her as a gift, take whatever you want, but then she knew that there were some other girls who couldn't afford jewelry, but they loved jewelry. And so then she would tell her father, "Well, I've taken this, but I'm going to give it to so-and-so because she would appreciate it more than I do." And he would smile. And so that generosity of heart, I don't need, but okay, somebody else has a need. And if I have the possibility of fulfilling that need, let me do that. Her time, she would spend time with patients, people who are sick, and read the Sukhmani to them, the heart of the Sikh scriptures. And she would read that to them, and having said the prayers, then give them a little bit of water to drink, and that would help them recover. So she must have had some magical touch, which I know she did. So just imagine all the virtues. So that generosity stayed with her till her last birth because she had taken so much of this from Baba. So what are my specialities? What are my special qualities? Let me be able to see them and enhance them and be able to use them in my life and to be able to share them with others. So look at the stock of the main things that Baba spoke about, which is only possible for accumulation in the confluence age. The rest of the cycle, half, there's a little bit in bhakti. I give, I receive, I give, and I take. And so the account gets cleared there and then. There's nothing accumulated for the future. So Baba spoke about the beauty of accumulation within the self. Baba, the one who's innocent, actually saying, I'll give you 1,000-fold return for everything that you do today. In Bhakti, it was one-to-one. But then later in the 60s and 70s, people were scientists, were genetically modifying seeds so that the yield would be greater. And people thought this is fantastic. The Green Revolution started. And this is why then for some years, India was self-sufficient with its food. Now what's going to happen? Let's watch the drama. But at least for many years, the Green Revolution in India made sure that there was enough food for all. And so if seeds can be enhanced by scientists, God, the Supreme, is saying, because you're now in relationship with me, and what you're doing out of your love for me, I will multiply the power of that seed so that you get 1,000-fold fruit in return. Just imagine how innocent our sweet Baba is. Very, very innocent. And then, of course, Baba spoke about becoming the self-sovereign, because only when I have the right of sovereignty today will I be able to have the right to the kingdom of the world. If today I can't be a sovereign of my physical senses, how can God trust the entire kingdom of the world to me? Not logical, is it? If you give a child one note, maybe it's a 10-pound note, and the child loses it, would you give him anything more? You'd be very cautious. Or if you gave the child a 10-pound note and then the child spent it all in a day on just buying sweets and little toys and all sorts of things, and it would be gone in a day. Again, the parent would be concerned. How can I make this child be responsible for my whole inheritance? I have to train the child further. The child has to become sensible and worthy. So here am I today, and I'm not in charge of my eyes. My eyes wander. I'm not in charge of my tongue. My tongue wants to eat things which are not good for my health, and I know that. What is it that's pulling me? Which one of my physical senses is moving me in a direction which I know isn't very right, not very sensible, and maybe even beyond that, something that's making me break Srimad? So self-sovereignty, the first step, the master of the physical senses, so that all my actions, whether my seeing, my eating, my speaking, my doing, all of that are on track in alignment with Srimad. This is what I need to be checking. And then further, of course, it's not just the physical senses, it's more the inner faculties, Gyan Indriya. The senses, Karam Indriya, then the Gyan Indriya, the senses with which I understand and know. So my thoughts, my feelings, my conscience, my consciousness, my ability to retain, all of that is man and buddhi, mind and intellect. Then there's my nature and my sanskars. Now, to what extent have I become the master, the sovereign over all of these? My thoughts, during lockdown? Am I saying, oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. What's going to happen? I'm lonely. I'm afraid. I'm depressed. Not the language of Brahmins, is it? Brahmins will say, I can never be lonely because I have my own company. I can dialogue with myself, I can chat to myself and explore what's going on further, and I can go deeper and deeper inwards. But also, not just me and myself, it's me and Baba. And I think it was yesterday Baba said, if you're combined, Maya has no chance of entry. I and my father are together. Like Brahma Baba and Shiv Baba were always together, Baba's giving all of us the same opportunity, be together. And in this togetherness, yes, there's going to be then the possibility of sovereignty. I'm not lonely. I am in charge of my own mind, my own thoughts, my own feelings. My feelings won't go in a negative track. No, I'll always be able to stay up above in the consciousness that Baba wants me to be in. You know, people are talking about protection from the virus. And yes, sanitize your hands, wash your hands, keep social distance, keep safe, keep at home. All of those things, all the government guidelines, the medical guidelines are important. But there's another protection that we can have, and that is the protection of God's light. And so am I able to keep God's light around me to protect me so that nothing negative comes to me? And then it's not just the virus, but it's anything. Negative vibrations, negative feelings, anything from out there shouldn't be able to reach me. I should be able to be up above so that I'm safe, I'm protected. So with making Bap Dada my companion, keeping my intellect connected with Baba, I am well and truly protected from physical things, spiritual things, anybody's emotional stuff, bugs, physical things, all of that. It's a fact that when I feel safe and protected, my immunity rises. When I feel afraid and lonely and depressed, my immunity goes down. This is medical fact. And so, yes, it's a spiritual fact. I can have Baba's protection. It's also a medical fact that I can make my immunity strong. Today it's one bug, tomorrow it'll be another bug. But whichever bugs may come, at the end of Kali Yuga, you don't know what's going to come at you from where. Nobody ever expected that there would be this sort of lockdown in which you see airports with a whole fleet, hundreds of aeroplanes parked. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, and airlines coming to a state where they're saying we're at the point of bankruptcy. Airlines, just imagine, across the world, nobody's traveling, nobody's going anywhere. They can't. So I don't know what's going to come, but let me keep Baba's protection with myself always. And so to keep my mind strong and be the sovereign, to keep my intellect clean and clear, connected with Baba. And yes, that's definitely not just spiritual immunity, but it also works on the external physical level, and nothing can touch me then. So am I the sovereign of the self? And if I'm not, again, Baba gave a very, very clear understanding of what's going on. And Baba's point was that if I'm not Adhikari, the one with the right to the sovereignty, then I'm Adhin, dependent. What am I dependent on? My nature, my sanskars. I say, well, you know, I like to get things done fast and people are not listening. And so that's why I get a bit irritated. No excuses. I'm letting my old nature work. impatience, irritation, my sanskars. I'm so attached to whether it's my children, whether it's my spouse, whether it's my job, my money, my house, whatever the attachment may be, it's a dependency. And maybe today I'm not realizing how it's trapping me. Let's stop for a moment. Say, for example, if in lockdown you were in another country and your family was in another country, what would you feel? How would you manage? Just imagine. Lockdown, you're away from your home. Family is one thing, but your own home, where are you now? Maybe you're staying with some friends. Maybe you're in a hotel, but hotels mostly are sending people away. But so what's happening? Where is my intellect going at that moment? Am I connected with God and taking God's help and support and sharing that help with the world, with everybody around me? Or because of my dependency, I'm in pain and I'm suffering. And in pain and suffering, I cannot remember sweet Baba. In soul consciousness, yes, Baba's right there with me. No problem. But in body consciousness and attachment, or any one of the other sanskars that's really dominating me, adhin, I'm subservient to that sanskar. It's not I, the soul, the master of my subjects, my mind, my intellect, my sanskars. It's I, the soul, lost that sovereignty, that kingdom, and now my sanskars are ruling me. And Baba spoke about two things, Siddh and Zid. Trying to prove that I'm right, and stubbornness, force, not able to adjust, not able to mold. And so let me explore to what extent truly I am a sovereign. And it was very sweet when Baba said, well, if you don't take a seat in the exam and pass, you'll never know if you can be number one. If the storm comes and you say, well, I'm in upheaval because of the storm, then what percentage of power do you have? How far have you reached? It's only when the tests come and the exam comes and you prove yourself within that, then yes, we can say you have victory. If there's no battle and you've sat just by the sidelines, then without the battle, what's the proof that you're number one, that you're victorious? And so I know that all these challenges will come, but can I keep that state of sovereignty in which my thoughts are linked to God, my intellect is clean and clear, and my sanskars are my Satu Pradhan sanskars. Because if I don't become Satu Pradhan quickly now, I don't know when I can do that. Drama has given us this opportunity of, even though we might still be busy and working from home and all sorts of things, but still there's a lot of time that we have saved. Commuting, especially in Lagos, commuting can take a long time from Victoria Island to Ilupeju and the other way around. It's quite a stretch of time. So you save all that time, wherever it is you're living and commuting to and from. We have time for the self, time for meditation, time to explore what's going on inside. So let me take advantage of that. So these are the things that Baba said to watch out for. Check your nature, check your intentions, all of that. Baba spoke about another aspect, and the Hindi words rhyme, of course, Abhiman and Apman. Abhiman, ego, Am I having ego of the service that I do? Well, I've forgotten it's God's work. There can be no success in service unless I recognize it's God who's doing it and I am simply the instrument. And things go well. Thank you, Baba. It wasn't me. I know it wasn't me. It was you. And then Upman. Things aren't going as I want them to, but then people start defaming me, start insulting me. It's okay. Whatever I've done, I can always learn more and do it better. And there's always that opportunity that is available for me to do things better than I'm doing it now. And so let me again be very, very aware. No ego of the service that I've done. And even if others later on comment and criticize, but I'm above it. It's not touching me in a negative way. Yes, I'm learning from the feedback. That's important. But it's not bothering me. It's not causing me any suffering or pain. Because if that happens, then my stage goes down further. And if I'm distressed and I'm unhappy, then I can't serve others. The very idea of service is actually to be able to give happiness. That is what service is truly all about. So there were lots of other things in the Murali, but these are some of the main things that touched me very strongly. And so I thought I'd share these with you because it's fascinating how a Murali that Baba spoke like in the 60s feels relevant today. Baba talks about the things that are going on now, right now. And the Murlis that Baba spoke 30 years, 40 years ago, again, it's for this moment. When there's jewels, real gold, then its value doesn't decline through the years, but rather its value is enhanced, usually. And so the jewels that Baba gave us way back, whether in the Sakar in the 60s or whether in the Avyak through the whole of the 60s, at the last bit of the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, all of those things are so, so valuable. And I heard all this before. But how much was registered and how much was applied? So I enjoyed them at that time, thought fantastic things Baba was sharing. And maybe a few of the things stuck. I won't say nothing stuck, a few of the things stuck. But today I see how Baba's really helping us do the revision before the final exam. You know how children get time off from school when they're doing big exams, students get time off so that they can revise. And it's like this period of lockdown has been holiday time for the children, but also for the adults. You're out of your normal routine. There are things that you always said, I have to, and they never had time. But now you have time to do all the things that you used to say, I should, now you can. So at this moment, it's time for revision, but not just reading and saying, oh, very interesting, very good, but time for reflection. Yes, even time for discussion with others. My understanding and my experience about this with Baba is whatever it is, and then others too. So these are the main things that I wanted to share. Gautami Ben, what should we do now? We have a few minutes left. And so if you have a question on behalf of everyone, you can tell me. But otherwise, we can just have a few minutes of meditation.
Thank you so
together.
much. Thank you so much. That was, yes, please. Would you take it with it? Thank you.
Hello, I didn't understand. Should I just continue the meditation now?
Yes,
just
please.
For a few minutes?
Yes, please.
Yeah?
Please continue. Please.
Okay, so if they in Lagos can play the music, then maybe people will enjoy meditation with the music. Okay. Thank you to Gautami Ben, Reva Ben for
Thank you.
organizing everything. And thank you to all of you for giving the time to listen. And I'm sure that after lockdown, we'll meet somewhere, maybe in London, maybe in Madhuban. Let's see the drama. Okay. Om Shanti. Deeply inside. And let the soul be with Baba. Connect with the treasures that Baba's given. The powers, the virtues, the beauty of knowledge. And just keep saying, thank you, Baba. Thank you, Drama. Thank you, family. Om Shanti. Stay well, stay safe, stay with Baba, and keep flying. Physical flying isn't allowed, but spiritual flying, nobody can stop you. And you'll reach your goal of Sato Pradhan much faster. Take care. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Jayanti. Have a great day.
Thank you.
So to all those who are listening and seeing through this Zoom and YouTube channel, if you want the recording, you may please email to the legos@ng.brahmakumaris.com, or even can WhatsApp on the number +234 810 6262 866. We once again thank Jayanti Ben for taking such valuable time for us and sharing such jewels of reminders, which is very much important in this confluence age. And now Lagos will have its own Murli. Reva Didi is here. We welcome her to share the Murli class. Yes, all the souls from all over the world who all have been connected. Thank you so much. Please send the email to this email ID, legos@ng.brahmakumaris.org, or kindly please WhatsApp on the number +234 810 6262 866. Om Shanti. We welcome Reva Didi.
Thank you, Jayanti Ben. You make us feel as if you are sitting in Lagos, not only in Madhuban. Okay. Okay. Can we come back?
Yes, Didi, I'm just saying, yeah, there you are.
About it. Right. Everybody enjoyed the talk? Wonderful, wonderful. Now everybody think about it. She has said,
Didi, can you please switch on your video?
is the video on? Huh? Can the video on? Video on? Yeah, 1 minute, please. Make it